Welcome into the Big Blue Takeover on the SEC Network. I'm Christy Thomas. Back in 2015, Wesley Woodyard was named team captain for the 13th straight season at any level of football. That's including in 2004 when he was the first and only freshman ever to be named captain for the University of Kentucky football program. Maria Taylor sat down with Wesley Woodyard to discuss his journey of leadership.
Quick pitch near side. It's Pierre trying to turn the corner. Cannot! Great one-on-one tackle by Wesley Woodyard.
Take me back to the days in LaGrange, Georgia, and what was like growing up for you?
It was fun. I used to travel a lot playing football with me and my brothers. Single household. My mom raised us. Very hard-working woman. It was a lot of fun. I was around my family a lot growing up. Like I said, I had so much fun in LaGrange.
Who are the people that had a big impact in making you the man that you are today?
I would say my mom, my brother. He was kind of like my father, but most importantly, my cousin Derek. He was the reason why I went to UK. He took me on my first college visit, and he just installed a lot of things in me to become the man who I am today.
What brought you to the sport of football?
In LaGrange, either you're a football star or you play baseball. And I grew up playing football since the age of 6, and it was just one of those things that my mom saw that I had a lot of anger problems as a kid, and it was a way for me to release my anger on the field. And I was like, hey, I could go out there and run around and hit somebody and not get in trouble. I'm with it every day.
Give me one of those moments when you were younger and it was a great play or a situation where you thought, this is the sport that I want to play for the rest of my life.
I would say I got joked at this one moment in one play for about 5 or 6 years of my life. My brother still joked with me about it. I was 6 years old playing, and I came through the line of scrimmage, and I took the ball from the quarterback, and I was running full speed, got all the way down. I'm running about 30, 45 yards, said, tackled at the 1 yard line. So I looked over all the way running down. My brother and his friends were running on the sideline. They're joking with me about I got caught at the 1. I told them I fainted, but I think I did faint. But it was just crazy, man. It was a lot of fun that day. About 100 degrees out there playing, and I couldn't score.
When you think about some of the lessons that football teaches you along the way, what were some special ones that you learned as you were growing up and coming through high school?
I think one of the biggest things football teaches you is how to overcome adversity. In the game of football, there's going to be troubled times. You just got to continue to stay in there, keep fighting, and never give up and never quit. And that's something that's so special about this game. With that, along with hard work and teamwork, it builds your character.
Take me back to the first time that it was announced that you would be a captain on one of the teams that you were playing on.
The first time I was a captain was my senior year in high school, and we kind of did this numerical thing where we went by the seniors. Whoever has the lowest number, we go by that. But I would take you back into the playoffs where our coach elected me to be the captain of the first round of the playoffs, and to me to just be one of the leaders on the team and be lifted. Our captains used to get lifted up before the game, and we'd give a big rah-rah speech, and it meant a lot to me, man, that my teammates and my coaches believed in me to vote me as a captain. And I just work hard every day, and that's something that they saw.
And as a captain, what is the responsibility that you feel comes along with a name or a position like that?
I think as a captain, you have to be yourself day in and day out. You got to continue to work hard and bring the best out of your teammates. And it's challenging. It's a lot of days you walk in there around your teammates, you don't want to give them that smile, or you don't want to be who you are, but that's what they depend on. There's going to be a lot of people in the locker room that looks at you to uplift them in their spirits, and that's something that you have to do.
All right, so your senior year, you win a championship?
Yes.
What was it like winning state, and after you've put in so much, but having so much success on the high school level?
It was fun. We went 51-3 throughout my high school. My senior year, we really didn't have the best senior class, but we outworked everybody, and I think that's something that stuck with the program. The next year they won the state, just by upliving and living through the things that we did. So, we were the underdog team. We had the #1 defense. we were playing against a team that had like 3 or 4 college athletes. That one went to Auburn, another went to Georgia. But it was just amazing, man, to go out there, fight, leave it all out there on the field, and at the end of the day, hold up that trophy.
Okay, now we've walked through kind of your high school days. Take me through the recruiting process and what was important to you at the time when you were deciding what college you wanted to go to.
Getting that family feel, that family vibe. I remember going in and sitting down with Coach Brooks, man. He put his hand on my shoulder and he was like, "You're the guy that we need here to help change this program." And I was like, "Really? Me? Little me?" I think I was about 160 pounds. I was like, "I don't know if I'm gonna do too much, but I'm gonna give it all I got." But just having that family vibe, and from the moment I stepped on Kentucky's campus, it was like, I'm done. I don't really need to go anywhere else or see anything else. And to me, I think that's where it landed. Having a family vibe, somewhere that I can help change a program around, that was another reason why I stuck to go to Kentucky. Just being able to help put something there that I can look back for one day and just be like, hey, I helped change a program, and I gave it everything I had when I was out there on the field.
And you knew you were coming into a situation that they were going to have scholarship restrictions. They were coming off of probation. Why did you feel like that was a challenge that you wanted to be a part of?
I'm not the guy that wants to go to a top-notch program and just, one day I'll eventually play. Man, I believe in working hard, and I think if you put forth the effort to work and build something, you can look back and smile on it and be like, man, I had a chance to help improve the status of that program, and I took it upon myself to help recruit, help try to get guys in there to play along with me that believed in the same thing I did.
So you're saying you took ownership?
I did. I definitely took ownership. From the day I got there, I was challenging my teammates, challenging the guys that started in front of me. And I think that's what you need. You need that competition to make each other better.
When you first arrived in Lexington, you were also named a captain. So you're taking that senior year of high school right into your college career. What was it like being a rookie or a freshman and being named a captain?
I think I rode that momentum from my senior year to Kentucky. Just being who I am, staying level-headed, humble, working hard, and challenging my teammates. Competition has a strange way of bringing out the best in no matter who you are. So my day I got on campus of Kentucky, it was just like, hey, challenge all your freshman buddies, man. We got to be the team the class that comes in and everybody wants to look up to and work hard against and compete against, and that's something that we did.
Was it difficult to have the burden of being a captain your freshman year thrown on you?
It was tough. It was tough. I would say it was very trying days. Teammates didn't like me, some didn't like me, but hey, that comes with the territory, man. I'm not going to run away from it or shy away from it, and that's something that every day you wake up, you got to be that same guy, and that's where it goes. If I'm making you mad by doing something that I love to do, then hey, you're not with what I want to be, so you got to move on.
So your freshman year, you win 2 games. I can only imagine that was a tough season to deal with, to handle. What was that journey like for you?
That was rough. Coming from where I only lost 3 games in football my high school career to coming into a program to where it's like, man, we lose every week. But I think the mindset had to change. And when you see that struggle, you see guys that are on the team that get down after one bad play. I think that was another reason why I was able to be a captain, because I'm not going to be satisfied with the least that we put out there on the field. And we had guys that just really didn't care. And we had to bring in new guys that changed that. So it was tough losing every game. It felt like, and only winning 2. It was really tough, but we kept in there. And I know myself it was a challenge for me to continue to keep going.
Well, on the flip side of that, you end up going to 2 consecutive bowl games, your final 2 seasons at Kentucky. So you saw the transformation in a program. What did it take?
A lot of dedication. I can't say it just was me. We had a lot of other guys like Jacob Tammy, Keenan Burr, Raphael Little, Andre Wilson, guys that were there every day, that challenged everybody, and they took it upon themselves to be the leaders on the team and make sure that when they left that the program continued to keep going, and that's something we all prided ourselves on, man. We're going to go out there every day, we're going to fight, we're going to work hard, and we're going to get in the locker room and have fun, and I think that's what it's all about. You got to enjoy what you're doing.
What would you say is your proudest moment of being a Kentucky Wildcat?
My proudest moment, it didn't come on the football field, to be honest with you. Being able to be an academic All-SEC 2 times in a row, I think that's my most proudest moment ever.
People probably don't give as much credit as they should to the ability to handle your academics and your athletics. How did you make it so seamless?
It was tough. My transition from high school to my freshman year in college was not good. I think I started off with a 2.0, and then it was just a battle, having a lot of free time, not knowing what to do with it. And then the years after that, I just had to make up my mind, like, hey, you didn't come to college just to play football. You got a chance to get an education and be a successful young male. And I think that's something that I took every day, and I worked hard in class, got tutors, cats helped me out. So it was just a blessing that I was able to, from that first semester, I was able to make no less than a 3.0.
What do you feel like you learned about yourself during that journey of being able to change around your GPA?
Let's see. I think one of the biggest things is just always just trying to find the best in the worst situation. Things are always going to be tough, and you just got to, whatever it is that motivates you to keep going, that's what you have to find out and just build on that, and success will come if you work hard at it.
Tell me what you learned that helped you throughout your journey from being a student athlete at Kentucky.
It taught me how to be a man. For the first time I was alone. I had to do things on my own. I had to learn how to balance a checkbook. I had to learn how to be responsible. I had to pay bills. I had to get myself to and from class. And it was just, those things taught me how to be a man that I am, and today, going to Denver, I definitely wouldn't have been the same person had I not learned those values that I took from Kentucky.
So take me to the end of your college career. Now it's time to start training for the draft. What's going through your mind during that transitional time?
I was so excited. I coming off an all SEC year, 2 back-to-back bowl victories, getting a chance to go to the Senior Bowl and being around some of the best players in college. It was just an exciting transition, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to get drafted.
So when you're sitting there on draft day, phone doesn't ring, what is your reaction?
It was tough. I still remember, waking up, laying on the floor, not wanting to get up, just being depressed about, thinking like, I played in the SEC. I was one of the best. I could be the best, and I know I can play this game. And, Coach Shanahan and Champ Kelly called me on the phone and gave me the opportunity to go out to Denver. And I never forget, I was riding up the highway to Atlanta to get on the plane, and it was pitch black, pouring down rain, and I just started crying. And, I was like, why didn't I get the opportunity to get drafted? And I know I'm better than these guys. I know if I just had the chance to play, I'm going to show everybody, and that's something that I did.
After going through that moment of darkness, what is the mindset you had to take with you to Denver in order to make the team?
From the day I stepped into Dove Valley up in Denver, I was like, I'm about to outwork everybody. Everybody's about to see who I am. I'm about to unleash everything. I'm about to just let it rip. And from that day forward, I never looked back. I went there with the attitude of I'm about to beat somebody out to make this team because I'm an undrafted free agent. My back is against the wall. I got nothing to lose. And I love this game of football, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to play.
Have you ever lost that mentality?
Nah, whenever I lose that mentality, unfortunately, I'm going to say I won't be playing, but I don't think that's going to happen.
After you officially find out that you've made the roster, because I know that that's a whole process and a grind, what goes through your mind?
Well, let me take you back to my first preseason game. I think I played the whole game. But my coach came to me, he was like, we got a lot of linebackers. You might not get a chance to play, but if you do, go out there and just give it your all. And it was a blessing for me, but not a blessing for the other guys. 2 guys got hurt, and I got a chance to get in there. I'll never forget it, going in the locker room. I pick up my phone. I called my brother. I don't cry often, but, man, these are the only 2 moments I can remember really crying. I called my brother, and I was like, dude, I can play this game. And he was like, I always believed in you from day one. Just keep doing your thing. And it's funny, transitioning to me finding out the team, me and my roommate, Jack Williams at the time, we got these little flyers previous to the last preseason game where Coach Shanahan used to have a party at his home for all the guys that made the team. And the whole week we were sneaking around asking, like, let's ask this guy. We know he's not going to make the team and see if he got an invitation. We were asking, he didn't make it. He didn't get an invitation. So I got the invitation. And it was just one of the biggest, I was able to exhale and just like, man, I'm really on this team now.
Okay, so you've officially made the team now. Now take me to the moment that you play in your first regular season game in the NFL.
getting ready to line up opening day, Denver Broncos versus San Diego Chargers. My coach is telling me they have this great returner, Darren Sproles. Be ready for him. He's any minute he can score. Kick the ball off. I'm running down there. I think I was the first person down the field. Run down there and tackle him on the inside the 5-yard line. Just get hyped, throw up my little hooks, and it was like, man, I just made my first tackle. A special team tackle feels like 3 or 4 defensive tackles. So I was just so hyped and so pumped, and I played a lot of special teams that game.
Now, it's another situation where you're a rookie and you're named a captain. Yet again, what was the moment like when you find out that you're going to be a captain in the NFL?
Well, I actually should have been named the rookie captain from the beginning of the season, but my veterans came to me and was like, we wanted to vote you captain, but we don't really want no rookies to be captains. But you come in and week out, and you play hard, and you're one of our best players on special teams. So it was just one of those feelings like, hey, I expect this from myself. I come in every day, I train hard, I work hard, and I'm going to leave it out there on the field, and hopefully my teammates noticed that, and they did, and they believe in me to go to war with me every Sunday.
You're a freshman, you're a captain, you're a rookie, you're a captain, and you are still a captain to this day, 12 years and counting.
Yeah.
How do you manage to do that?
Every day I wake up, I can look that man in the mirror and say that I'm actually proud of you. I want to continue to get better and do some things better on the football field and off the field, but I could say that I'm extremely proud of myself and that I want to be the best that I am, and I challenge myself daily.
And as a captain, what is the responsibility that you feel comes along with a name or a position like that?
I think as a captain, you have to be yourself day in and day out. You got to continue to work hard and bring the best out of your teammates. And it's challenging. It's a lot of days you walk in there around your teammates, you don't want to give them that smile, or you don't want to be who you are, but that's what they depend on. There's going to be a lot of people in the locker room that looks at you to uplift them in their spirits, and that's something that you have to do.
At what point do you believe that you learned how to be a leader?
I would say that happened when I started playing football, 6 years old, man. My mom put me in the sport. My coach saw something in me that the other guys didn't have, and that was just a heart. My heart, man. You can't measure the size of your heart. So if you have a big heart and you go out there, you're gonna be a leader because you don't want to do anything wrong. You don't want to let your teammates down.
Was there ever a moment when you thought, I don't want to be the leader anymore? This is too much. Everyone's constantly looking up to me.
You definitely get those moments, man, where you just want to quit. I think that happens to all of us. You get tired of that pressure that you put on yourself and always want to be the best. But like I said, when you step in that locker room or you step in on that football field, you got to be the guy that you said you were going to be. And to me, that was being Wesley Woodyard. Through the good days, the bad days, you're going to have those bad days, but those bad days make those good days a lot better.
What have you learned about managing or helping to lead others?
Just, everybody's not the same. You can't deal with one person as you do with the same, and I think you have to be humble enough to understand their situations and their background, where they come from. I think a lot of people don't look at it that way. A lot of people think that you could just tell a certain person to do something that you've done, but you can't. You got to be able to relate to guys and your peers, and they respect you more from that. I can go through every locker room and tell you something about each one of my teammates, and I think that's something that, to be a great leader, you have to understand all your teammates.
What did it mean to you to have veterans coming to you and saying, hey, we see you?
It was an honor, to have guys that played multiple years in the league, and I want to be where they are, to see that I'm making them proud as a young guy, because that's all you really want. You want to see if your peers are excited about you just as excited as you are about them, man. And it was just a blessing, man. I was blessed to go out there and play this game and be successful.
What would you say is the highlight that you've had so far in your professional career?
My biggest highlight to me was playing. We were playing the New Orleans Saints, and I got an interception, a sack, forced fumble, and I got 14 tackles or something that game. And I was the defensive player of the week, and it was just, I think that was my first time ever wearing the communication systems on the defense, and that's a huge honor, being able to communicate to your defensive players. Like, it's the quarterback of the defense, so that was one. Beating Brett Favre, that was one of my biggest accomplishments. Watching him play, every Thanksgiving on Sunday, just seeing a guy that I looked up to, getting a chance to beat him, that was one of the best accomplishments I could ever have.
What has the journey been like for you throughout the NFL? I mean, once you make it into what seems like a little bit of a fraternity, You have to constantly earn your way and earn your keep.
You have to. I kind of like to say the underdog. You know, I've always been the underdog, and I think that keeps me humble, that keeps me hungry, and it definitely makes me grind every year I get ready to prepare for a season. So I think every year you got to continue to improve, and having that underdog mindset, it always makes you a better person.
What do you think the younger version of you, playing football back in LaGrange, Georgia, would say to the version I'm sitting in front of right now?
The younger me would definitely look at the older me and say, I'm better than you. And that just goes to the inner competitiveness that I have, man, that drive. And like I said, you got to get better every year, and that's something that the younger me would challenge me. He'd get there in front of me and say, I'm going to beat you in everything that you do. And the older me is going to say, boy, stop.
Is there anything that you would do differently?
I don't think so. You know, I think the bad things and that I've done in my life, that I've learned those hard-headed lessons from my mom used to say, it made me who I am today. You know, one thing I will say, you got to make good choices and good decisions. And luckily for me, I was able to make more of those than I did all of the bad things that I might have done in the past. But, you know, just cherish every day and be able to wake up and be responsible for that person that you're looking in the mirror.
One very key point in your story that you capitalized on opportunities, and the mentality that you took, that underdog mentality, is something that helped you throughout. Is that something that you suggest that any student athlete or person really in life carry with them?
Absolutely. You know, one thing that I also do is you can't control what you can't control. You know, certain situations you're put in, you have to rise above it, or you just be average, and you don't want to be an average person. And being an underdog, you could be the best athlete on your team, but if you have that mentality that I got to outwork and be a better player than everybody that's on my team, or outwork any of my students in the classroom, you can be the best person that you have, and the good man above is going to bless you.
And who are the people, they could be players or teammates, they could be coaches, that you really feel like made a difference for you while you were in Lexington?
I would say Keenan Burton. He was a guy that I challenged every day in practice, and he did the same. You know, we lived across from each other my last 2 years in college, and we would go back and forth to the school and on campus and off campus, and every day he looked at me and challenged me. He's my fraternity brother. But another guy that I would definitely say is Jacob Tammy. To this day, we still have a relationship. We talk, and we've faced each other several times in the NFL. And he's one of those guys that if I could make up a guy to date my daughter, he would be that kind of guy. And he's that guy that doesn't really care about anything that you do on the football field. He wants to know how I am deep down inside. How am I living? How am I doing with my family? And I think you need guys like that. You need the athletic guy that's going to challenge you, and you need that person that's going to challenge you as becoming a man.
All right, you get the platform, the stage. There's going to be over 500 student athletes listening to your story. What is the message that you want them to take away?
That, you know, through hard work and determination and being humble and believing in yourself, you can accomplish anything that you want. You got to believe in yourself first. Love yourself, especially the ladies out there. You know, love yourself, and just every day try to challenge yourself to be a better person. And if I can make it from a small town to LaGrange, everybody can make it.
If you had to sum up your entire journey in one word, what would it be?
I'm going to have to say passion. I feel like everything that I do revolves around that word. Everything that I love, everything that I care about, you have to have a certain passion for what you do. I love the game of football, so my passion is going to show whenever I step on the field. I love my family, so my passion is going to show whenever I'm around them. So having passion, man, is just having love for what you do.
How much of you is based in what happened to you while you were a Wildcat?
Everything that I do is started from being a Wildcat, you know. I have so many good memories that I can look back on, and whenever I have a down moment in life, it just uplifts my spirit, and I bleed blue to this day. You know, I always bleed blue, and just that pride and that passion that the state of Kentucky has and that the whole athletic program has, you know, it's just a blessing to be a part of that, and that's something that I want to continue to be my whole life, and it's never going to leave me.
What it's about is what it's about. What it read Kentucky to the day I die.
Well, it's certainly easy to see why the Big Blue Nation fell in love with Wesley Woodyard when he was a Kentucky Wildcat and why the BBN still continues to support him now as a Tennessee Titan. Coming up, Kentucky's big win over number 23 Missouri from the 2015 football season. Thanks for watching.